The tide came in. 3 children were playing on the beach one day, and they decided to go and explore some caves which were under an old fort. Inside the cave it was very damp, with wet, dripping seaweed hanging from the roof, and anemones and mussels all over the sides of the cave. The children started to look in rock pools, and they caught some shrimps, small green crabs hidden under the stones. When they came out again to the entrance of the cave, they found, to their horror, that the tide had come right around the fort, and they were trapped. What could they do? The water came in closer and closer, and large waves lapped at the children's feet. They shouted, but nobody could hear them, as the beach was a long way off now that the tide had come in. Their mother would not miss them yet, as they said they would be home for tea, but it was only 3 o'clock. They stayed close together. All around them on the ground were hundreds of huge orange starfish, who had been swept into the cave during a storm. As the tide came in, the starfish began to be active, moving their arms and tiny feet over the rocks. They seemed to be talking to one another. At the base of the rock, several starfish started holding arms. The children had never seen this before. Very soon other starfish were climbing onto these and forming a net up the side of the cave. Very soon a sort of ladder was seen. Quickly the children ran over to the ladder just as large waves were beginning to enter the cave. The children started to climb up, and the starfish hung on to each other and the rock beneath them very tightly. They reached a ledge halfway up the top of the cave, where there was a small gap which seemed to lead into another cave higher up in the fort. The children squeezed through. Meanwhile the starfish had collapsed down into the sea below, which was now nearly filling the whole cave. It was very dark in the new cave, and the children moved slowly around. Suddenly there was a snapping noise in the dark corner, and a gigantic crab was coming towards them. Its pincers were opening and closing as if ready to bite them. It caught one of the children by the arms, but he managed to escape. The children all picked up rocks from the floor of the cave and threw them at the crab, which ran away into the corner it came from. Looking up, one of the children shouted they could see daylight. They all started to climb up the rocky side of the cave, and were soon out in the open at the top of the fort. Now they were free. There were some steps leading down the other side, so they went down them, which led to a small pier. Here they found a small rowing boat, which they used to get them back to the beach. At last their adventure was over, but to this day nobody has ever seen starfish making a ladder again.
Found myself a worm that I decided I should take. I did.